right now.
Hello, I'm Mariama Diallo, filling in for Vincent McCory, who's on assignment. This is Africa 54. First tonight, M23 is waving the white flag of surrender. The rebel group that has plagued eastern Congo for more than a year and a half says it's laying down its arms and is ready to negotiate. The M23 movement announced its intention to demobilize in a statement Tuesday. The move came hours after government forces pushed rebel fighters from the last two areas under their control. M23 leader Bertrand Biziimwa asked for a unilateral ceasefire on Sunday, but the government rejected his call, saying it would only accept the end of M23's armed rebellion. M23 consists of fighters who joined the Congolese army in a 2009 peace deal. They later defected after complaining of poor treatment and launched their rebellion in April of 2012. Speaking in South Africa Tuesday, Russ Feingold, the U.S. special envoy to the Congo, called the move a significant step. But he added those who committed serious crimes should not get amnesty.
They need to face accountability. They need to face justice. This is first and foremost up to the nation of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And all of us, the international community and others, will do whatever they wish to assist them in the appropriate procedure of bringing these individuals to justice, proper prosecution, and punishment for crimes.
That was Russ Feingold, the U.S. Special Envoy to the Great Lakes. Joining us now from Nairobi is VOA's Gabe Joselow. Good evening, Gabe. Please, let's give us some insight on how this all came down.
Sure. Well, the announcement today by M23 that they are laying down their arms is the sort of culmination of weeks and weeks of government military operations targeting the rebels. The FARDC, the Congolese army, has been particularly aggressive in the last few weeks and particularly effective in driving the rebels out of some of their hillside holdups. They were, of course, backed by the army, that is, was backed by a UN intervention brigade, which also helped to provide some manpower and firepower to finally drive the rebels out.
So what do you think did it this time? Was it the Kampala talks? Was it the African leaders meeting right now in South Africa? Or was it the persistence of the Congolese government troops and also, as you said, MONUSCO?
I think it was a combination of a lot of these factors. The military pressure certainly was the most deciding factor. I think M23 would have held out longer if they could have maintained some kind of military resistance to those forces. At the same time, African leaders that were meeting in South Africa were really encouraging M23 to end the rebellion so that they could enter into negotiations on a final peace accord with the government. So M23's political leaders probably also saw this as an opportunity to get a seat at that table, before it's too late, before they're really wiped out and dispersed entirely.
You actually spoke to the Congolese government spokesperson, Lambert Mende, who did say that they all need to sit down and have a talk. Do you think the M23 rebel group is actually going to accept, they're going to answer that call?
I think they have very few options left at this point. There had been, past efforts at getting everybody together, the Kampala peace talks, for instance, but they kept falling apart, and instead military operations would resume. The hostilities of the past year were started, some of them were started by the FARDC, others were started by M23. Both sides were really into, trying to fight this thing out and seeing what they could do on the battlefield. Now that M23 has really just been defeated from all their positions, I think sitting down at the table is really the only option they have left.
What about the other rebel groups that are in that eastern part of DRC? Has Mr. Mende addressed that? And do they have a plan on how to actually combat those other rebel groups?
That's right. There are a lot of other rebel groups remaining, like the FDLR, which are the remnants of those who perpetrated the Rwandan genocide, as well as Ugandan-based ADF. There's the LRA. There are a lot of groups, Mai groups as well. So the government has made it clear that defeating M23 was just the first step, and now they're going to go after some of these other groups. That's also the mandate of that UN intervention brigade. So you can see this M23 battle really as an early test for this new system, for this new aggressive push to try to finally bring peace to a region that's been so long racked by violence and conflict.
Well, Gabe, thank you so much for your insight. Thank you so much. Gabe was joining us via Skype in Nairobi.